everybody, Matt here. Last week I posted a demo on a Strandberg OS6 that I recently got. Pretty much the #1 question from my friends, family, and a couple people that I don't even know is like, if you're gonna spend that kind of money, why would you not go for something like a Jazzmaster or something that's like classic, or I don't know, just like a regular type of guitar? And I really wanted to try the ergonomic guitars out, you know, multiscale, headless, 4 pounds, you know, that type of stuff. I really wanted to try it out. So with that being said, I definitely set out on like a 2-month like Reverb and eBay hunting spree, trying to find the right Strandberg for me, and obviously wasn't gonna spend like, you know, $5,000 or something ridiculous. I wanted at least a fairly affordable one that was still like super badass and did all the things that they're known for doing. So I think today we're gonna talk a little bit about like why I think ergonomic guitars are actually worth it. First, let's start by taking a look at the actual guitar itself. Now, if you're looking at it from like here down, it really looks like, you know, sort of your basic like badass metal guitar, apart from the bridge. But there are a lot of elements in this guitar that really make it very unique. The lightweight hardware adds almost no extra weight to the body. They're using, you know, specific types of fret wire, you know, a certain type of neckwood to keep it lighter. This is a roasted maple, but and if you're familiar with the Strandbergs and stuff, you know that they have like the trapezoidal neck shape that goes sort of at an angle. This is definitely one of the most ergonomic parts of the guitar to me. So we'll start there. Let's kick it off. The first thing I guess we'll talk about will be the neck shape. So it's a bit of an adjustment for, I guess, maybe the like the blues or less modern music type of player. As I mentioned in my demo video, it's a little tough when you're like soloing up here if you're one of those guys that like puts your thumb over the top, because the trapezoid can kind of protrude a little bit into the ball of your hand, making it just a little uncomfortable to do that. However, the ergonomics of this guitar provide you with the ability to put your thumb in the middle of that joint and then, you know, solo faster, cleaner, and better. I'm a guitar teacher, so when I teach any of my students to solo, this is definitely something I push very hard, making sure the thumb's in the middle of the back of the neck. But with the Strandbergs, you know, they follow sort of where your hand is going to be at while it's playing. Another ergonomic aspect for sure. So for example, your thumb in the middle of the neck down here is typically closer to the low E side, so that you can push for like bar chords and stuff, and really get a lot of grit out of your lower strings. Now, as you descend down, your thumb begins to naturally gravitate towards more of the edge as you're beginning to go towards your like low E or high E and your solo register of the guitar. Now, of course, once it gets all the way down, it pretty much stops where the body meets, but even as you're continuing up into this range, you leave your thumb on that point right where, you know, the body meets the neck, and you can still reach that 24th fret. My pinky can still go like all the way out there, I guess, but my pinky's like kind of crazy. But you can reach that 24th fret even with your thumb in that neck joint, you know, pretty easily, even if you don't have like super big hands. So that's a great part of the guitar. Another ergonomic aspect that, you know, well, apart from the fact that it doesn't have a headstock, I mean, that takes the majority of the weight away. So as I mentioned before, I'm a guitar teacher and I work with School of Rock, and we do a lot of shows where we have themes and stuff, and I play with a lot of bands where they're like young kids and some teenagers and even some older adult bands and stuff. And when we do our end of season showcases, I'll be playing guitar and drums and bass and whatever on stage for like 8 hours or 10 hours, you know, it's kind of crazy. So if I'm playing like a basic guitar with like a mahogany body and like ebony fretboard and you know, all this stuff, I mean, standing up on stage with that on my shoulder for that amount of time is like, I will immediately need to schedule a chiropractor appointment the following day. And I can definitely imagine that doing that same situation with the Strandberg would yield vastly different results. I can imagine that I would probably still be a little sore after that amount of time, but I mean, not only is it at least like almost half the weight of all my other guitars, it has like, you know, because it doesn't have a headstock, there's no like drifting each way, you know, so if you don't have your hands on the guitar, the strap isn't going to drop and it's just going to sit like that. And the headstock will kind of dip a little bit, you know. If without that or with that off on the Strandberg, the guitar naturally rests like this, which is great. It doesn't stress out your neck or anything like that, or your shoulder joints, which, you know, the ergonomic thing is to help you feel better while you're playing. And Strandberg, I believe, has really absolutely achieved that. And with this guitar, many others, there are tons of ways to experiment with like how you can actually get guitars to really feel the way you want them. The last ergonomic aspect I want to go over with this guitar is probably the most obvious when you're looking at it, but in my opinion, the least obvious when you're playing it, and that would be the Multiscale fretboard. Now, Strandberg is known for doing these like a little bit lighter than some of the other guitar companies that are doing these right now. They're known for not fanning them too crazy because it's, you know, kind of ridiculous. The point is to make it feel better to the player, not to where it is so difficult to reach to the fret that you're turning your entire hand to meet with the multi-scale pattern. That doesn't work. That totally is pointless. So what they've done here is done a light fan where you have a 25.5 scale on the low E and a 25 scale on the high E. So the fanning is very light. Now, Ola Strandberg himself is mentioned on their like 7 and 8 string guitars. The fanning is a lot more noticeable. You can definitely see it a lot more. But I think even though it's the most obvious, like when I played this guitar for the first time, I did not really feel that. Now when I would look down and like watch what I'm playing up here, then it got kind of weird. Then it was like, whoa, that's crazy. But I didn't actually really feel it that much. But I don't necessarily think that's the point. It's just meant to help you naturally do what you do. And that's why I think ergonomic guitars are worth it. Now, of course, these are opinionated, or this is an opinionated video to some degree, because there are obviously people that exist out there that only want like a basic type of guitar in their hands at all times, like a Les Paul, a Telecaster. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, times are changing. The days of back pain after 8-hour days in the studio and everything holding a guitar that long are over. You know, these types of guitars are really changing the market, the way the music sounds, the way everything feels, and I personally think it's awesome. I'm down with it. I'm ready to ride the wave of like the modern guitar. I'm loving the direction that it's going. Oh, and the Strandbergs are built with like so many different curves and edges, you can sit down and play them in like any different way that you want to. It's kind of awesome as well. I guess that's sort of an overlooked thing that I almost missed there. So, I mean, again, these guitars, you know, just kind of can't beat them. If you have any questions about anything in the video, you have any curiosity about multi-scale guitars, why I got a 2016 instead of a 2019 or 18, anything like that, please drop a line in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm definitely really into the Strandberg thing right now. I'm gonna be probably getting a couple more of these in the future and doing videos on them as well. I have t-shirts, so hit this link right here and you can get all the amazing stuff that you see around my head right now. As always, do not forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching.